Hello and welcome. My name is Bouril, and this is my final project presentation for Stat 512, Applied Linear Regression in Spring 2021. My project is titled The Impact of Terminal Contacts on Concluding Set Score Plus Minus in Purdue Women's Volleyball. The large general question we are looking to address is what is the value of terminal contacts in volleyball towards the team's final set score? There was a study done in April 2009 called Comparison of Technical Skills, Effectiveness of Men's National Volleyball Teams. The study was similar. It compared 9 technical skills and their linear impact on the match result, whether it be win or loss. They used a statistical software called DataVolley 2 Professional Data Project. For this study, I used a newer version, DataVolley 4. We would define all of the contacts and skills in the study later. Our research question in this study was which of the predictors have enough marginal importance and have a significant linear impact on the response variable to be included in the model. We're looking at which of these are significantly different than 0. Our null hypothesis is that they are all 0. Our alternative hypothesis is that at least one is not 0. After that, we will look at, okay, which has the largest absolute value? That is, which one has the largest impact of plus minus? Currently, I work as the technical coordinator for the Purdue Women's Volleyball program. I use a statistical software called DataVolley to track every single contact that goes on throughout the duration of a volleyball match for the home and away team. After tracking every contact, one can perform advanced analysis on players and teams in general, and specific performance of certain skills in order to better practice, play, and prepare for opponents. A 3-set match is usually somewhere around 1,800 contacts. A 5-set match can be upward of 4,000 contacts. Each contact is coded in the following format: team, player, skill, type, and quality. This is sample code from the last match in our dataset. The code in gray represents a block kill. We see that due to the nature of the software, tracking everything becomes searchable. The best way to find a specific data point in DataVolley 4 is to use worksheets. Worksheets allow you to enter whatever specific stat you are looking for and then have it all put up in one click. For example, we see the value for set 2, the plus minus was 2. This value was found by searching using a filter function. We can see that filter function below, and then we can see what it equates to on the right. DataVolley 4 has been around for a while, and its predecessor has been around for about 20 years. That being said, there is only match data available for the 2016 season and beyond. As each year is very different with lineups and personnel, the decision was made not to include the years previous in the study and only to look at the year current, which is 2021. The entire dataset is available on Volumetrics. Volumetrics is a film and statistics sharing site available to all levels of volleyball players. Unfortunately, the site's resources are not available to the public, but should anyone have any inquiries, please feel free to reach out to me. We have 8 different data points, as you can see. Match set ID is a string usually that lists the match, the opponent, the set, and the match. Plus minus is an integer value. It's continuous. The range is from -10 to 15. That will be our response variable. Attack kills is a continuous value with a range of 5 to 19. Block kills is a continuous value with a range of 0 to 8. Service aces is continuous with a range of 0 to 5. Attack errors is continuous with a range of 0 to 9. Blocking and digging errors is continuous with a range of 2 to 15. Reception errors is continuous with a range of 0 to 4. All of these are coded as integers, with their unit being a point. A terminal contact is defined as the last contact before a point was awarded in the rally. A rally is defined as the time after service is initiated and the entire duration up until a point is awarded. We looked at 6 different types of terminal contacts: attack kills, block kills, service aces, attack errors, blocking and digging errors, and reception errors. We will now describe each. A kill is awarded to any player at any time when an attack is unreturnable by the opposition. A block kill is awarded when a single player blocks the ball into the opponent's court, leading directly to a point. A service ace is any serve that results directly in a point. A blocking error is a call made by the referee that ends play. A player is charged with a blocking error when any of the 5 situations arise that are listed. A dig error is awarded when players receive an attacked ball and it is not kept in play. An attack error is charged to a player whenever an attack or attacker commits one of the following 9 actions. In general, it can be a ball out of bounds, ball into the net. There are many different ways to arise at an attack error. A reception error is charged to a player when the serve lands near them, they are unable to return the serve, or if they are called for a violation. Now that all predictors have been covered, the response variable in this study is the plus-minus for the set score upon the conclusion of each set. In Division I rally scoring, each team starts at 0 each set and plays a best set of 5 set format looking to win 3 sets. Each set is scored to 25, but you must win by 2. The 5th set is a tiebreaker, only played to 15, but still with a win by 2 format. The largest plus-minus is 25 or negative 25, while the smallest is 2 or negative 2. We do have one non-predictive variable included in the data set. This is the ID. ID was included with each data point to mark when and where the set occurred. The format for this was the opponent's name abbreviated, the match, and the set number. We started with our first model by using all 6 predictors, and it is a first order model. As we can see on the left, we have a printout. The p-value for each predictor is less than alpha of 0.05, thus significant. We also see that x1, x2, x3 are positive, and x4, x5, and x6 are negative, which we expected. The first diagnostic we looked into was residual normality. From this plot on the left, we can see that it looks rather normal, but this is a subjective test and formal diagnostics must be completed to confirm this assumption. Running the SW test, we yield the following: a p-value of 0.6901, much larger than 0.05. As the p-value is greater, we do not reject the null hypothesis and conclude they are normal. Later we will inspect outliers if present that lie off the line. From the scatter plot of the plus-minus values versus the residuals, we see a relatively constant variance, but once again, this is a subjective eye test. Formal diagnostics are required. We ran a BP test and a Brown-Forsyth test based on the borderline value at first, but a statistically significant value for the second. The null hypothesis for both is constant variance. We reject this. Next, we looked into the issue of multicollinearity. From this chart, we see a lot of information, but mainly a few key takeaways. The predictors themselves do not show evidence of multicollinearity, as the largest absolute value we see for any of them is 0.13. Given that none of the values exceed 0.9, there are no incidences of severe multicollinearity between any 2 predictors or a predictor and the response. Given this data, we do not feel a need to incorporate any interaction terms in our model. So what do we have so far? From the check for residual normality, we see the data is normal, but we should inspect outliers and further points of influence. From the check for multicollinearity, we have deduced no predictors have an issue of severe degree, nor does any predictor with the response. We may investigate multiple at once later. From the check for homoscedasticity, we see there looks to be an issue of non-constant variance that we can look to remedy later. Below, you will see the fitted regression function for our model at this point in time. It is a first-order model with 6 continuous predictors and a continuous response variable. From this influence plot, we get some initial hints that there may be some points worth investigating, specifically those with index 1, 13, 17, 58, and 72. We now apply the DF fits, DF betas, and Cook's distance to look for influation points. After applying all 3, we get that 1, 17, 58, and 72 are large points of interest. As the data does have human error involved, but the larger data set is roughly 126,000 contacts, we assume that the error to be extremely small and that these values are actually correct and should not be removed. Here we see the R code for each of the tests that we just ran. Next to it, as a comment, we see the points that were listed as influential. You can see the overlap between the points we returned in the last slide. Note that Cook's distance did not return any values even with a 20% criterion. Assuming there are no severe issues of multicollinearity, we can trust that the plot on the left shows the proper functional relation for the marginal effect of each predictor. We see that a linear term for each xi may be helpful in addition to the model already containing all their predictors. From this we can deduce that a nonlinear term is not needed in any of the predictors. Further, from this data we feel better about keeping a first-order model. Considering that we did have an issue of non-constant variance, we look to use the Wheat-slated squares method in order to fix this. When looking at it with respect to the residuals in each predictor, we got the following table. We see that when using the block errors and dig errors, we got the highest r-squared value and highest adjusted r-squared value. Our model did improve, but it still failed the Brown-Forsyth test and the BP test. From the previous printout, we can see the following. 4 of our 6 predictors improved the r-squared value, but only by at most by 3.56%. The predictor that yielded the greatest increase was block errors and dig errors, as noted. Our old model is listed here, and the new model with the fitted values is listed below. The two models are very similar, and they also have significant values for the Brown-Forsyth test, and they have the same value for the BP test. Since the function did not change a lot, we do not feel the need to do further iterations. Next, we looked at the best subset method to choose how many and which parameters we needed. When viewing the output, we know that we're looking for the following: small SSP value, high r-squared, high adjusted r-squared, small CP, small AIC, small SBC, and small pres-P. From this, we get the full model is the preferred one. P equals 7 was returned for every single value. Now with our final model in hand, we need to do some more diagnostics. Checking normality, we see that the null hypothesis is that the residuals are normally distributed, with the alternative being that they are not. As the value is 0.75, we know that we cannot reject the null hypothesis. We also take a look at the normal QQ plot and see that the values all fall even closer than the original plot did. The multicollinearity does not change as the data did not change, and from the Brown-Forsyth test, we see that normal variance is still not quite there, but as we saw earlier, the model has a better R value after the WLS method was applied. Here we see a summary and both type of ANOVA tables for our new model. We can see that each value for the predictors are still considered statistically significant as they have a p-value of less than 0.05. We see that now we have that higher r-squared value of 0.7384. Our final model's fitted regression function is listed in bold. After obtaining it, we used a cross-validation method against the previous model. We can see our old model had a higher RMSE value than our new model. As we were able to obtain a lower one after remedy, we know the model is better than the previous one we were working with. Our first research question was to see if all our predictors were unequal to 0 or not. That is the plus minus significantly linearly related to each predictor. Our null hypothesis was that BI equals 0 for each beta, and our alternative is that beta for each I does not equal 0. Based on the output that we see here, every value is significant, but let us perform a test on each to further prove that they are. By running the global test, we see that for each predictor, I, for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, all of our x's, null hypothesis that beta I equals 0 is rejected. The null hypothesis that beta I does not equal 0 is accepted. In each situation, we see that our p-value is less than 0.05, and our f value is greater than the critical value of 3.965004. When we think back to the reference paper that we talked about in the very first slide, one thing to note is that it did not go into great detail about how they used the SPSS software to determine the coefficients for each variable, but it did leave a lot to compare. Both studies at heart are studying skills in relation to winning and losing. A positive plus minus means you won the set, a negative one means you lost. One is a categorical way of looking at it, one is continuous. The final four variables that arose in the reference model were attack errors, jump service points, quick attack errors, and jump service errors. These are the significant values for predicting win and loss in the match in the paper that they constructed. Their most significant predictor was attack errors. As you saw in the last two slides, ours was blocks. At the conclusion of this study, we were able to say that first, the 6 predictors used in the study do have a statistically significant linear impact on the plus-minus at the end of the set score in the 2021 Purdue women's volleyball season. Further, in order of largest impact to smallest, we have blocks, reception errors, hitting errors, aces, kills, blocks, and dig errors. This answers our other research question of which is the largest impact. That would be blocks. The practical implications of our study are the following. In a 2-hour practice, the most time should be spent on block and pass training. One to improve the number of blocks per set, and the other to reduce the amount of reception errors per set. After that, offensive management to reduce attack errors and serving practice to increase aces should be next. Lastly, attacking to terminate the ball, digging and defensive blocking reps should be last, as they weigh the least in predicting the set outcome. For years, the phrase, serve pass wins the match, has been uttered by many coaches and players alike, but going forward, the sentiment may be that block pass wins the match. Thank you for viewing my final presentation. For any and all questions, concerns, or inquiries, please contact me via email at mbouril@purdue.edu.